Hello and welcome to another opening of a stack of packs from the 1991 Pro Set PGA Tour golf cards. We have some amazing players in here. I just noticed, look at that. Here, let's put this box aside for now. And on the side of the pack, it says Pro Set. Get your official 1991 PGA Tour Pro Set album. Order now. And he tells you more on the back about kind of ordering and stuff like that. So interesting packs. Over here is our podium. The best card will go on there until there is one remaining as the winner of the day. And we'll go through, we'll talk about players, we'll talk about values, and just have a good time checking out this set of golf cards from the 90s. So let's see what we could get. A dream find would be a hologram. There is an Arnold Palmer hologram in these. So maybe we'll be lucky enough. We'll find out. If not, we'll see and learn about some really cool people along the way. And we are getting started now with a couple that include Chip Beck, Robert Games, Bill Glasson. And these cards have a very nice kind of edge-to-edge full photo on the front, and on the back they have some statistics and that you can kind of read about the player. And there's three different colors too on the back. We have the silver, which is going to be our stat leaders. The lighter green is the PGA Tour, and the darker green is the Senior PGA Tour. So some kind of interesting visual indicators there to make it easy to kind of go through the set and see which players are part of which tour. And yeah, the colors aren't super bright, but they kind of get the job done. And the photos are pretty cool. So overall, a decent set. The cards are thick enough. They have a decent feel in the hand. And so an overall okay Pro Set set. They made some pretty nice ones over the years, and this one's in the mix up there. But we'll kind of check it out as we go. And here we have Lee Trevino, Player of the Year card. That one looks pretty good. I don't think the collector value is super high on the Player of the Year cards, but we'll check out later because if it's looking good. It's tough to get really good cards from that time period. So if it comes out looking good, let's protect it for now, and we'll learn a little more down the road. And we got Mike Donald, David Peoples, Art Wall, Mike Hulbert, John Paul Kane, Dave Rummels, Dudley Wysong, and Bill Britton. And we move along. Come on, let's do a hologram check. Ready? All right, I don't see anything odd or unique sticking out in this one, so maybe not this time, but you never know. Time will tell. Maybe Wayne Levi will know. Scott Hoke, Tom Pertzer, Jim Benepe. If there's a better way to say that, definitely let me know, because there very well might be. Mark Calvecchia, Russ Cochran, Bruce Devlin, Don January, and Brian Clark. There's a cool angle on that card coming out of the bunker with the sand all in the air. Jack Nicklas. All right. That's a very cool card. Looks a little rough on the front edges, but you could see here kind of the edge wear on that side. So condition-wise, not amazing, but we'll still save him for our team. And anytime you pull a Jack Nicklaus card, definitely cool. So we move on to Dillard Pruitt. Ian Baker Finch. Don Pooley. Lee Trevino. All right. The statistical leader. And let's save this one. I always like a good Lee Trevino card. And there's some players that really impacted the game a lot. And while they all, of course, had a hand in it, it's always good to see a Lee card. Ken Shaw. Butch Bird. Tony Sills. Rocco Mediate. Donnie Hammond. Bob Charles. And Mike Reed. All right, we are now turning the corner. Pack number 5 of 9. We are smack dab right in the middle. And curious what's going to come up next. And I wonder if there's a system of how they pack the really rare cards. Maybe they're towards the middle. Maybe they're towards the bottom. We will find out. And maybe somebody knows. But hopefully soon enough, we will be those somebodies, because we will find them. All right, we got a Greg Norman card, statistical leader. So we will definitely save him and add him to our team. I do think from a collectible standpoint, the statistical leader cards are not as highly valued as just the player card itself, but we'll find out a little more as we go. Andy Bean. Gene Sowers. Howard Twitty. Robert Wren. Bob Golby. And Robert Thompson. And we're flying through these right here. And even the foil on these is a pretty nice kind of foil. Pretty strong, so an okay set. We got Phil Rogers. Kim Young. Chichi Rodriguez. Rick Fair. George Archer. Statistical leader. We got Bill Rogers. Ted Schultz. Bob Estes. Bill Butner. John Houston. Don Baez. And Mark Brooks. All right. This pack feels a little thick. I could be totally imagining it. Totally imagining it, but it does feel a little thicker just on the pickup. Let's see if I'm just being hopeful or if maybe there's some magic in this pack. Time will tell, but it's probably just a regular pack. Joe Jimenez. Ronnie Black. Jim Boros. Brian Watts. Paul Azinger. All right. Statistical leader. Jerry Pate. George Archer. Andrew McGee. Tom Seichman. Gary Hallberg. Gibby Gilbert, and Corey Pavin. All right, so just a regular pack. Maybe I was a little optimistic, hoping for something good, or maybe it's a sign of something to come. We'll start with Billy Maxwell, Mark O'Meara, Greg Twiggs, Tom Watson, Calvin Pete, statistical leader, Steve Pate, George Archer, Wayne Grady, David Canape. Let me know if you know the better way to pronounce that. And Jim Colbert, and Greg Bruckner. And that brings us already to the last pack of the stack. We're flying right through, and we will begin with Jimmy Powell of the SPGA Tour, Ben Crenshaw, very cool, Gary McCord, Steve Jones, Jim Woodward. We need somebody for our podium. None of the really big ones have come out yet, so still have a few cards, still have some time, but this may be the first time we haven't had a big one to hit on the podium in terms of collector value. If not, we still have some really big names that we'll wrap up with. And we got Barry Chessman. And lastly, oh no, we got a couple more. All right. Ken Green, Jack Kiefer, and Brad Bryant. All right. So I think for the first time in history, we do not have a podium player. Although if we go through some of the cards that we pulled out, there are going to be a few really, really big names. So let's take a look at those. First up, we have Jack Nicklaus. Excellent player. Lee Trevino and Greg Norman. So all in all, I think a really good grouping there to add to our overall team, especially these stat leaders. And so there you have it. I hope you learned something as we went along, and I hope you had some fun. And until next time.